Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome out to the range. Today we got an exciting episode. We're going to be continuing on in our series where we compare clear ballistic gel, organic gel. We're going to throw a little wrinkle into it today. But today we're also looking at 45 ACP, 45 ACP plus P. Should be a good time. Let's get to shooting. We are talking about the Federal HST plus P and the Federal HST standard pressure rounds in 45 ACP, and we're going to be using this to get a baseline of how 45 ACP out of a sort of standard 45 ACP configured gun. You might think that might be a 1911, but no, we're going to be taking a look at the HK USP Compact. My version of the tactical. It's a regular compact with a threaded barrel on the after from HK into it. So it's got the gray guns trigger on here. We got the optic cut from Langdon Tactical. It's pretty all smooth and slicked out. I'm really enjoying this sucker. Very nice trigger pull, especially in that single action, and not bad in the double action. So that's enough of the gun. What we're going to be really looking at is how do these bullets perform in different ballistic medium. So today, and we've been doing a series on this, we were trying to compare clear ballistic gel, which I use a lot on the channel, to some organic gelatin, the FBI stuff, the stuff that they use in their tests from Knox Gelatin grade A250. We're going to be testing that out today. We're going to take a look at this plus P bullet loaded, or cartridge loaded from Federal, and we're also going to take a look at the standard pressure round. I think both of these are pretty awesome. Federal usually does a great job of getting pretty incredible expansion and a weak job on getting the velocities out of these two rounds. And so they look very similar, almost impossible to tell apart. One just probably has 10%-ish more pressure in it. So we'll see if that proves out, and if that's enough of a difference to make a difference, if we see any differences between when we're shooting in the organic gelatin versus the clear ballistic. And then I've got a little bit of a special test going on. My wife said, hey, we've got some extra pork roast. Why don't you get that out to the range, shoot it? I said, that'd be kind of fun. So we're going to do pork roast versus organic gel versus clear ballistic gel, just kind of for a fun test out here today. And then we're going to see what kind of velocities and other stuff we're getting out of this USP Compact. On the standard pressure, or on the plus P pressure from the box, I'm sure that's out of a 5-inch 1911. This is just a little bit shorter than that. It's supposed to be getting 461 energy foot-pounds and 950 feet per second. And out of the regular pressure, it's supposed to be getting 890 feet per second and 400 energy foot-pounds. We'll see if these guys do what they're supposed to do today. Should be a good time. Let's get to comparing and let's get to shooting. Doing our BB calibration on our 10% ordnance gelatin. You can see that we are at 3.5 inches at 590 feet per second. It's about right, a little under 3.5 inches. So there we go. That's our calibration. Okay, so first up we have the Federal HST 230 grain regular standard pressure round. We have our organic gelatin, 10% FBI. We just showed that we have it calibrated pretty much there. So we'll put the first round in. We're just going to shoot one of these and then we'll go to the plus P. Here we go. Hopefully we capture it on the Garmin. Unfortunately, did not capture it on the Garmin. Let's go down and see what had happened. Oh, dang it, and I did not start. I can't win for losing. I did not start the camera, the slow-mo camera. Okay, well, I'm still mad that I didn't capture this on the slow motion camera, but whatever. This is the 45 ACP standard version, HST. I mean, those are massive. That's massive wound tracks coming in here. Goes out a little beyond a foot, about 13 inches. Get very good expansion. You can see very good spreading out there. We look at the top. Very nice wound track. Hard to tell in this not so clear gel. That's one of the downsides of the organic gelatin, but I think it did a good job. I'm going to shoot one more of the HST, then I may try to shoot another one, trying to capture a slow-mo version of that. Now we have the Federal HST Plus P 230 grain, again out of the HK USP Compact with that threaded barrel on it. And so we are going to shoot it into the gel, and I am going to turn on the slow motion camera here in a second, and I'm not going to forget it this time. Okay, here we go. Nice. It's hard to see. It's really hard to see. We came in on the low side out front, and you can't really tell the difference except the bullet went further. Now let me try and rotate it to the bottom side. It may get a little bit better view there. So this is the round. We got lots of my previous clothing tests here. We have pretty good spiraling, dang, very nice, out to the 14-inch mark. This is kind of the fun part. Let me pull these out and we'll get a measurement. You don't even have to use a knife, just go, ew, slimy. Again, this gel block is still perfectly cold. Holy crap, look at the size of that bullet. Jeez, that is a load in there. And we'll do this other one over here too. Don't break my... It's probably not very satisfying to you all, but it's extremely satisfying. With gel, organic or clear ballistic gel, you can't do that. Okay, so the one on the left is the standard version. The one on the right is the Plus P version. So, oh yeah, okay. All right, let me get my calipers out real quick. Let's take a quick look at these two. Pull up the one that's a standard pressure version. Whoa, look at the size of that sucker. 0.86. 0.86. Rotate it around. Yeah, 0.86. And the Plus P version is pretty much the same. Maybe a little bit wider. 0.864. 0.8. Yeah, 0.864. Just a little bit wider there. Very close to the same. But it feels like it's peeled back just a little bit more on the underside. I don't know. They're very, very similar. But this one got 2 inches deeper of penetration. The Plus P got 2 inches deeper of penetration than the standard pressure one did. That, at that kind of spot, that probably feels worth it to me. All right, well, we have the 45 ACP HST standard pressure out of our USP Compact Tactical version, and we're going to shoot this into the clear ballistic gel this time for our comparison. Let me start the camera. Here we go. Well, the shadows aren't really my friend. Try to get a couple of different angles as we're looking at it, but well, it comes in here. It's the only shot into the gel block. Goes out to 13.5 inches, about 1.5 inches more than what we saw in the organic gelatin with the standard pressure. It's not a lot difference. So, but just great wound track, great spiraling, opens up. I mean, the 45 ACP is just a solid performer in that. I mean, that would ruin someone's day right there. Let me take a look from the top view. Over here, bullet up there, big wound track, spirals. Come down, take a look at it from this view. Very nice. Now we have the Plus P version of it. See how it does in the clear ballistic gelatin. We see over here that we have our entrance wound. It's really not far from the top. Probably is gonna, we'll see that in the gel that didn't have much where to go in terms of like blowing things up. But it's really an interesting case because I think this bullet got caught up in clothing and didn't expand. comes in here close to the edge, but that's fine. Nothing goes out of the edge. And there it is, and it bounces off the other gel block and comes back and really isn't expanded. And if you look right in this space here, look in this space here, you're seeing the clothing starts going out at about 9 inches. And this basically goes the full 16 inches. And it doesn't look like it expands. Let me pull these bullets here. Find this so fascinating. If you look at this, right, we got, with the standard pressure, we got great expansion, 0.83. It's basically the same as what we got in the organic gelatin, maybe a little bit more expansion. Fantastic. But then look, we got no expansion. Hollow point got clogged in it. I'm wondering, you know, if this is like statistical variation in sampling that versus the gel block, that every now and then these bullets have a slight deformity or something in them and then they won't expand. But I saw a lot of clothing kind of leaving the hollow point after 9 or 10 inches. This thing was definitely clogged versus I see the clothing in this one leave by the 3 or 4 inch mark. It's kind of flowing out. So they definitely got clogged up. Could it be the gel? Could it be this bullet was something wrong with it? Looks like this did not open. Looks like this section didn't open. So did they not have the right cuts in there? So I don't know. I don't know, folks. I don't know if we're making a assessment here about clear ballistic versus organic. I am positive Federal will say this is, oh yeah, that's because you didn't use organic gelatin, blah, 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 blah. Right? But these are the two in organic gelatin. They look somewhat different, like this top one up here looks a little different, but they're about the same size, same shape, peeled back about the same amounts, but this one's just not. It just failed. I think that's really a bullet deformity, but would love to hear your comments below. Put it down below. Okay, we're going to try something a little hokey. My wife had 3 freezer burned pork roasts that I've got out here today. They've been fully defrosted. They've been sitting in the fridge, making an entire mess. Wife says, you got to get these out and shoot them. So we're going to shoot them today. We're going to shoot a plus P. We're going to shoot a standard pressure. We'll start with a plus P because we had that weird thing. I want to see what happens. Hopefully we can capture a bullet after it goes through that meat. This is going to be a bloody mess and nasty, and I've got extra water in there because, you know, one of the things is that there is a lot of blood loss when you kill an animal, and so this will maybe help simulate more live tissue. Don't know. It's an approximation. Let's just see what happens. Right, well, up first we have got that plus P round. We'll see how we do with it. Shooting it into layers of t-shirt, layers of denim, and then into that pork roast. See if we get expansion. See what it looks like. Should be fun. All right, let's go down, see what happened. This is a whole mess of nasty trichinosis that's coming on here. You can take a look. It came down on the low side of it here. Went through there. I'm losing water fast, so I got to make another shot. And then it's on the bottom. This really is a nasty mess of trichinosis. I don't know how I'm going to clean it. Here's our bullet. It got out to the 13-inch mark, expanded very nice. I think most of its expansion had been done there. Let's get another shot into this before we lose all the water with the regular version. Okay, we have the standard pressure round. We have the meat target. Yes, we kind of have a meat target up. Let's see how it does with the standard pressure round. All right, see if we captured that. Okay, taking a look at that, about that again. We got pretty much out to the same 12-inch mark. Maybe, yeah, pretty much the 12-inch mark. We line the ruler up through the meat target, through it. It's right here in the middle. It looks very well expanded. Yeah, I think these bullets are doing the things they should do. I think it's really interesting that that one did not expand. Could be clear ballistics, could be this, you know, this setup. We'll have to see. All right, now I've got to clean everything up before I get trichinosis. I'm going to try to do a little bit of a, just take a look at what's going on with that meat. Okay, these are a couple holes that we had. Let's see if we can kind of get into this sucker. see what is going on here. The one is in here. It's a pretty nasty expansion. Holy cow, that bottom one, the plus P, really, and you can tell it's probably a big difference between where it hit on the edge versus in the middle. But wowzers, look at that. That's all our clothing. It's just zipping out. Look at these rounds. Wow, that's pretty nuts. That is pretty nuts. Just, yeah, that's pretty wild. I gotta wash my hands before I get trichinosis. Here's the standard pressure one that went through the meat. A little bit wider. I don't know. Yeah, a little bit wider. You know, there's a lot of variation at the extent of those petals, but looks very similar. Just so happens that one and that one are a couple are sticking out wider than normal. But all in about the same there. Okay, well, we have the standard pressure HST. I'm going to try to shoot a group and get velocity readings. I'm just going to worry about shooting the group. Hopefully it picks it up. I'll check the first time or two to make sure that my camera's on and make sure that I'm getting the appropriate readings. 5 shots. See how we do. Yeah, we are not getting a velocity reading. I do not know what is going on with this sucker. Let's take a time out. Okay, let's keep going. Hopefully get some readings here. There we go. Boy, 783. 872. 841. Well, I'm not very accurate. Boy, that was slow. 813. And 846. I'm not happy with my group, but I'm glad we got some readings. Let's take a look at what we are getting for a session summary. We got a min of 783, an average of 831, max of 872, extreme spread of 88. Not good. An average kinetic energy of 353, standard deviation of 30.3. That wasn't great. We'll go down and look at my terrible group. We are at 10 yards, but is what is. This is what we have. The first shot, and then I shot another 5-shot group. So 1, 2, 3 here. It's zeroed. I'm just pulling stuff. That's just me. Okay, well, we have got the plus P ammunition out. We'll shoot a 5-shot group over here. Hopefully we capture it. We'll see what the difference is. Maybe I can shoot a little bit better. Wouldn't that be nice? Not capturing it. Yeah, it's slow in recording. I've captured one of those. .872, a little bit tighter group. .877. So these are still. This is some weak stuff from Federal. Like they're always doing crap like that. I mean, the bullets are nice and big, so that's important. But I don't know. I just got out of it. Let me read it off of my phone. Okay, let's look at our session summary. I'm really not impressed with this. We got basically 50 feet per second more with the plus P. Kinetic energy, 397. That's about 40 kinetic energy foot-pounds more. We only picked up 2 shots with it, but it's around the 8s, you know, so the average is 882, min of 877, max of 887. I don't know. It's kind of weak sauce. We're just barely starting to hit 400 energy foot-pounds, so kind of weak in my opinion. I've seen other plus P ammunition. Maybe it's slower rounds. It's hard to get these 230 grains out of 45 ACP going that fast. So I'm sure that now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably it. Probably a 200 grain or 185 grain bullet. We'd see higher energy foot-pounds and better velocity gains. It's just too big of a slug to go too fast out of 45 ACP, even with the plus P. Yeah, it just kind of tells you what it is. Let's go down and take a look at my shots. Okay, tightened it up a little bit. I still think this thing is on, and I'm pulling down low and left. I don't know why I am, but I am today. All right, well, we had a good time today, man. We had some incredible tests in that organic gelatin. We saw great expansion. I forgot to turn on the camera on that first shot. My apologies yet again, but yeah, we got great expansion on the plus P, on the standard pressure. We got decent penetration. I would have thought we'd have gotten more out of a 45 ACP, but those suckers are almost expanding out to 1 inch. They're going out to 0.84 inches in diameter. That's pretty freaking awesome. But what I was really disappointed in is with this plus P version, we're barely getting what the box advertises with the standard pressure. Could it be this shorter barrel out of here making that much of a difference? It probably is, right? And you were losing a bit of velocity, and my guess is Federal is just kind of, you know, the standard variation in all of their production processes isn't just quite up to snuff. But with the exception of that one round, we saw everything got great expansion. I really don't think it's Clear Ballistic didn't get the expansion. I personally believe that it's variation in their manufacturing process, either with the bullet or how it's loaded. We saw some of these rounds, you know, just dipping way low in their velocities. So my bet is not on Clear Ballistics, and my bet is on the deviation in the manufacturing of that round. So that's a lot of fun information to take in. What did you guys think of the meat target? I have zero intention to do more meat targets unless we have a lot of extra freezer burn meat. Otherwise, that's going to stay out. That is a mess. Shasta Bean, check out his channel. He does a lot of those meat tests. Dan the Wolfman does some meat tests. Of course, Paul Harrell made them popular. But yeah, you guys can go check them out and see what those guys did and do on a more regular basis. But this is just kind of an icky mess, and I'm not really into this, as it turns out. I prefer the Clear Ballistic gelatin. It's just much easier to work with. I'm doing a bit more organic gelatin because I just really want to get baselines, how much variations we get. With the 45 ACP, I only saw about 1 inch of deviation in terms of between the organic gelatin and the Clear Ballistic gelatin. I don't think that's much of a difference, in my opinion. So I want to hear what you all think about that one that didn't expand. I want to hear what you guys think about the meat test. I want to hear about what you guys think about between the organic gelatin and the Clear Ballistic gelatin. This is a good test video. I'm laying out some baselines for the rest of my ballistic testing. I hope this is useful, and I hope everyone has a great week, and let's get to shooting.
Out here in the heartland, where our spirits run free.
Okay, well, I had a fun time today. Hands a little icky until I can get out to get them all washed, and avoiding touching my face and getting trigonosis. But until
reviewing each weapon, put them to the test. With revolvers and shotguns, we'll break it all down. The Second Amendment protects from the crown. Shooting for the stars.